waste time with God. And I love that so much. Because so often we're in a hurry to go nowhere. Because if the Lord has not revealed to you the truth of your DNA in Him, life is empty. Because you have to understand, Jesus did not give Himself just for you to have a good job, for you to have a nice house, for you to be married, just for that. There is a unique ordination that you have in Him. And there are times that the Lord will call you away, and it requires time. But we're chasing after a life that, if we're really honest, for some of us, is a life that is motivated by what we envy, not by truth. Because if we really want to tap into the truth of who we are, then more often we will see ourselves taking, yes, we have to live, we have to pay bills and all those things, but you will be intentional about having time away to truly seek the face of God. God, what is it you know about me? What is it you're saying about my life? I've often shared my testimony how I was mainly in business. And I remember, and I was doing well. Because there are times when you seek the Lord because you are lacking. And you're looking for breakthrough, so it's like, okay, Lord, please just tell me something. Show me the path of favor. No, I was doing very well for myself when it comes to material things. But we don't live on that. That would never satisfy you. And I felt so empty because it was as though the one who has been my father for all these years was not pleased with me. And I took time away to just really stay in a place of fasting and prayer. Because I said, God, there's something you know about me that I don't know about myself. And I need to understand, who is that person? And I never thought the response that the Lord would give me at the end of that, that period of fasting was that He was calling me to preach the gospel. I did not think that. And He didn't even unfold it immediately. He wooed me into it. Some of you are in positions where you might be excelling and desiring more growth, and you don't realize it has nothing to do with your ordination. You have to be willing to waste time with God. You have to be willing to say, Lord, I know that there is a path I would like for my life. I have my goals, I have my ambition, I have my plans. But what is it you know about me? Because you are the true author of my life. So anything that I'm living outside of that which was written concerning me, I'm living a lie. You see, the reason, the Lord began to show me some of you in prayer, the reason that some of you are in a place where you have these cycles. It has nothing to do with, it's like you pursue something, but you fall into these cycles of deep, it's not even just about deep depression, but it's like you have these cycles of truly just feeling empty and lost. Yet everyone around you is applauding you about the things that you're doing. They're applauding you, they're seeing growth, they're seeing favor from a human perspective. But you find yourself constantly in this place. It happens every 6 months, every year, every 2 years. You find yourself back in the same place where you feel empty. And it's because you're not yet walking in the path of your ordination. And that feeling is actually the mercy of God to draw you into the place of seeking. That you would get tired with just chasing things that do not fulfill or satisfy you. And you will be willing to waste time with God. And why I love that phrase is because truly in God there is no waste. But you have to first embrace it in the mind, because your flesh will fight you because it's thinking it's waste. But even if it's going to be waste, I'd rather do it with God. Because the truth is, He is not a waster. Even if I spend 7 years of my life constantly in fasting and prayer, I'm actually redeeming time. Because when the Lord will finally speak to me, it will change everything about my life. I will come into the direction, into the path that He always knew. This is what predestination is about in the scriptures. That there is something that is already known about you in Christ. And when you come in Him and begin to seek it out, you would recognize what was always ordained about you, even before you were conceived in your mother's womb. And if you walk in that path, things will begin to work. Because that is the path heaven will back up. That is the identity that the Lord recognizes, that this is according to my will for your life. But so often we are distracted. And what motivates us to come to the house of the Lord, what motivates us to pray, is material things. What often will drive us. I can never forget, there was a time when the Lord was teaching me about the power of faith and prayer. And in this encounter, I see this lady, and she was praying with so much passion. And I was like, my God, that woman is anointed. She had the language, the lingo. I mean, she was praying in King James. And I was looking, I said, Lord, surely that is what prayer looks like. And the Lord said, it's empty. There's no faith in her. She's just doing things from a place of the flesh. Everything she's praying right now is motivated by her emotions. There's no belief backing it up. And I was shocked by this. Because there was a crowd around her. And everyone is believing the same thing. That, wow, this is powerful. But it was empty. And the Lord said, that's not faith. She's just moved by emotions. But I also believe that in the goodness of God, that just in the same way that when Saul lost the father's donkeys, well, he didn't really lose the donkeys just went missing. And when he's looking for the donkeys, he thinks it's about finding the donkeys, not knowing that the Lord orchestrated for the donkeys to go missing, that in the search for donkeys that he would encounter destiny. And so often what we are searching for is so material, but the Lord is so perfect in all His ways that He will use your search for that which is not significant for you to arrive at the place of destiny. And I believe that's what's going to even happen, or what's going to continue, because this conference has been so rich that I believe it's changing and transforming so many.